And we are live. Welcome to today's Facebook Live. I'm so glad you are all here today. I am getting a little bit of a late start, so thank you for your patience. So we had a lot of good DMs come in, so I'll be taking those questions that came in. And then today we're going to be talking about life updates. Everybody wants to know about that. I'll be sharing some of our family's favorite fall books, along with what I've been up to as far as like Christmas shopping with the quintuplets and the two older boys. June Nelson, you are the first person I am seeing on here. Welcome, Lori. It is good to see you on here as well. We have lots of people tuning in, and as always, it's fun to make those connections. We have a fan base that is all over the world, so be sure to say where you are from. It is so fun to make those connections. Krista, it is good to see you on here as well. Okay, so let's get started. We're just gonna be diving on in here. Victoria, it's good to see you. Gina, hi, from Connecticut, she says, welcome. I have had a full day. My kids the last few days have been up so early, and my little boys, like, oh my gosh, Lincoln has just been having a tough day. So our day began with fighting before I sent the kids off to school. I think just with the change of seasons, my kids feel that. I don't know when you guys were raising your kids, if it was that way, that shift in both the time change and the changes with the weather. We've had kind of crazy weather here in Southern Utah. Like I was just wearing shorts the other day, and then the very next day we were all bundled up in coats. So it has been interesting living here as of late. Stephanie Browning, it is good to see you. Jenna is tuning in from Pleasant Grove, Utah. Hi, Karen. Happy to see you beaming with happiness. Good to see you. Denise is from Tennessee. And Amy just tuned in as well. Hi, Amy. And Lisa is from Indiana. Welcome, everybody. Lori says she loved the reel from Veterans Day. Thank you. I had a good time. I took the quintuplets on a hike in Snow Canyon. We had a good time. Some of my kids were little turkeys though, just trying to have them sit still long enough for a picture. I think they just have little minds of their own sometimes, and just personalities that are just big, bold, opinionated personalities now that they are 6 years old. So some of the kids just want to keep playing, and so they weren't all smiling in the picture that I had posted over on Instagram because they were busy playing and exploring. What do the kids like doing for play, I think was your question. Ask me that question one more time. The comments are flying in as everybody's tuning in and joining in. Bonita is joining us. Hi, welcome. So yeah, we took the kids for Veterans Day, and there was this huge flag that was suspended from 2 cables across the canyon. It was huge, and my kids thought it was the coolest thing. Lincoln and Logan wanted to ask all the math questions. Things like, how many stars do we have on our American flag? How big was each of the stars on the flag? How many stripes? Like all the things. My kids are just so curious and so inquisitive right now. So we've just had a full last few days. We've got people tuning in from Texas. Sylvia, it's good to see you. Deb is from Washington, Utah. Deb, you were pretty close to where I live then. Jackie is from Seattle. Welcome. And Kelly is just tuning in as well. Sue says hello from Southern Indiana. Welcome. And Angeli Scott says, are you dating? We will be answering that question. Samantha is tuning in from Australia. Yes, I am. I have been dating now for about the last year. I've had several questions that came in about that, so we will be addressing that. For those of you that have been following along the last 4 to 5 months, you'll know that I have started dating somebody new, and he is pretty amazing. So Chad, if you were watching this, hi. I know he's working today. He was hoping to tune in for a live video, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make it or not. Natalie is tuning in. Hi. And Destiny is from Northern Utah. Welcome. You guys know how much I love and look forward to each and every Wednesday. I get to hang out with the coolest people. Chat is so good for your family is the only part I saw in that. Jennifer says, can't believe the quintuplets are 6 years old. It really is crazy. It goes by so fast. And I'm so grateful that I have this platform where we have documented just a life, like a day in the life, like for the last 6.5 years. So it's pretty special. The quintuplets now are understanding that. I think that we do have a YouTube channel and a Facebook channel, and I think they're really proud of that. So it's pretty special for these kids to be able to look back at their lives and remember when they were kids, some of those memories. You know, I was thinking about the other day, like if I had that opportunity, like looking back at my life and having everything in my life put to music, what would I remember? What would I retain? For me, I really just have like old photographs that my parents kept from my childhood, but how cool it is that the Quints get to have those memories put to video, put to music to remember some of the best moments of their childhood. So it is pretty special. Rhonda is tuning in from Northeast Ohio. Welcome. So anyway, I thought I would dive in and show you guys some of our favorite books that we love reading. I've been reorganizing my garage, and these are some of our family's favorite books. I know I've shared this one before, but Christopher's Garden by Elsa B. Scout is one of our family's favorite books, and it teaches children about the change in seasons. It's quite whimsical the way the illustrations are, and it's absolutely beautiful. I'm happy to leave a link for those of you interested to Amazon to be able to source some of these photos. But these, my kids will listen to this entire book, and it is a little bit longer just because the storyline is so creative, and my kids love the illustrations in this book. So that is one that we really love. I also found the author Tasha Tudor the last several years, and we've really loved reading her book. So this one is called Around the Year. And again, it just teaches children about the change in seasons. And Tasha Tudor shares just some of the memories that she made as a child in her illustrations, in her drawings. And they're just beautiful. I love snuggling up with my kids, reading a good book, something that teaches good morals, something that teaches good values with beautiful artwork. So this is one that the girls especially really love. And then this is one I just pulled out that I'm wanting to read to my kids as well. We love the Flicka, Ricka, and Dicka series, and this one in particular is called Bake a Cake. And it is a story about triplet girls. They also have a book series about triplet boys, which is really fun. But my girls, you know, it's been a while since I've read this one, so I forget what this one is about. But these stories are often about the children working together, problem solving, serving and contributing in both their family and their communities. So these are books, just three of the books that I really love reading with my kids. Elizabeth Buller says, my mom has that book. They really are great authors, and I love the illustrations. So those are just a few of our favorite books that we like to read in the fall. Let's dive in to some of the questions that came in about the quintuplets and about our family. Priscilla's question is it hard to raise quintuplets? I would say yes, it's definitely, the pregnancy was definitely hard. I would say it was my easiest pregnancy though out of the three, because I did not have hyperemesis gravidarum with them. I did have it with the two older boys. As far as raising the quintuplets, everything is not only what I call like multiplied. And my agent for sponsorships is texting me right now, so sorry. Let me see if I can move that. You guys get to see me in real time in a day on a Wednesday. As far as raising quintuplets, I wouldn't say everything is multiplied. I would say sometimes it's exponentially like harder. So when it comes to like shopping, we're buying everything at the same time, right? Whereas like when you have one kid at a time or twins, you can get away more with like hand-me-downs and that sort of thing. But sometimes I need shoes times 5 because my kids have growth spurts all at the same time. It's also a little bit different than raising like a singleton child, because like I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. Like when my kids ask a question like, why is the sky blue? When I had Shayden and Landon, it was easier to answer every day, like the questions that they would come up with. Whereas with the quintuplets, they have questions that they're asking all at the same time. And so for us, it's learning to take turns. And I want to make sure that I get to spend like as much one-on-one time with each of them as possible. And it gets a little bit tricky because they all want that time. So there are pros and cons. There's things I absolutely love about raising quintuplets. I think joy is magnified, not just multiplied, but magnified exponentially more. It's a pretty cool experience. And there's also things that are harder. So I thought that was a good question. Donna asks, who takes your photos? So Donna, I recently just purchased a brand new phone. So there are clear images that you're seeing come across with my filming and content that I'm creating. As far as the photos, because it's a brand new camera, it has better quality of photos. So they look like they're professionally done, but really it's just me taking the pictures. Sometimes my boyfriend Chad likes to help with that. And then I did have a picture that we took out in the Snow Canyon area with the American flag for Veterans Day. And that was just a random person that stopped and said they were happy to take our picture. And then when she saw all of us together, she was like, hey, I know all of you. You're the Scott Quintuplets. So anyway, that was really fun. And that's who we have take pictures. How are things with Chad? He seems so kind is Linda's question. Things are going really well. My family absolutely loves him, my extended family. Those that are my friends think he's amazing. And the quintuplets, all of the kids just think he's great. Okay, the next question is from Janet. Are the boys twins? A lot of you have asked this question over the years because on a film and when people are first getting to know the quintuplets, Lincoln and Logan look so much alike. So my boys are not identical. So they are fraternal. They do look a lot alike with their coloring, but Logan, if this is helpful to you, Logan has a rounder face like the O in his name. And then Lincoln has a more narrow face like the I in his name, if that helps you tell the boys apart. If anybody has any other tips and tricks of how they have been able to tell the boys apart over the years through videos, you're welcome to share those. Logan also has so all my kids have blue eyes, but Logan has a portion of his eye that is brown, and he's really proud of that because that's one thing that sets him apart from his brother. Okay, Letty says, will you have the quintuplets for Christmas? Yes, so I will have the quints for Christmas. I'm really excited about that. I really want it to be something special this year for the kids. The children will be celebrating Thanksgiving at their dad Skylar's house this year next week. Gina's question is, what favorite Christmas book do you enjoy reading with the quintuplets? There are several books that the kids and I love and enjoy reading. We do love reading out of the Bible, the Christmas story. We also love the Flicka, Ricka, and Dicka series. They do have some Christmas books that are really fun to read with the kids. Tasha Tudor has some more stories that are Christmas related. I'm trying to remember what the name of that story is. I can't remember because my kids ripped off like the cover, but we still use it. So we really love her things. And then Elsa B. Scow, again, is another author out of Sweden that we really love. She has just some whimsical stories that we love about like Christmas time. So those are just a few. That might make a fun like series, sharing some of our books with both reels and stories with links to some of our favorite things that we enjoy reading at Christmas time. Okay, we had some more questions that have come in. Brenda is tuning in. Brenda, welcome. And Bree has just started watching as well. Hi, Bree. Okay, Bob Irish sent me a message. So he sent us a story, and I forget the title of this. So Bob, if you are watching this right now, you're welcome to comment on this. He sent us a story several years ago when my kids were itty bitty babies, and it was written by the little girl that was in It's a Wonderful Life. I forget her name, but the title of this book, if anybody knows it, you can comment it. I'm still unpacking like all of our Christmas decorating stuff because I can't remember the name of this book, but he says, I'll see her in December. If you have anything you want me to tell her, I'm happy to. Tell her the quintuplets and I love the book that he sent years ago. And it's one that we read every single year for whatever reason. I can't remember the title. It's escaped me. But that is another book that we really like reading. Okay, Christy is tuning in from Texas. Safana is tuning in as well. Carol says hello from Pennsylvania. Welcome. We have new viewers that are tuning in. So if you are new here, I am Jamie Scott, mom to 7 children, 5 of the kids are quintuplets, so 5 kids the same age. They're 6 years old, and we just share a day in our everyday life. So if you are just tuning in, welcome. Okay, NDURSULAK over on Instagram asks, what happened to the little girls' bunk beds? We still have the girls' triple bunk bed. I shared that a while ago in a vlog. The girls really love it. Vivi is in the middle of the bunk beds, and it's not always her favorite place to be when she starts to go to bed, because the bed does shake a little bit. But I love that I can stack the kids' beds so that they have more play space. We are renting this townhome, and I'm grateful that we found it. But we have wanted more play space available for the kids. Anita says, I've been following for years. Hello from Oregon. Anita, it is good to see you. We love our viewers from the Pacific Northwest. I lived in Bellingham for a couple years in Washington State. We loved living there. Mary says, good morning from Queensland, Australia. Good morning, Mary, to you. And Saruk has just tuned in. Welcome. Okay, our next question comes from Robin. Do you still share your mailing address? We do. So if you scroll to the top of this Facebook page, you will find our mailing address. It is a P.O. box. You're welcome to send things. Just today, I returned and wrote handwritten thank you notes to Stephanie Browning. So Stephanie, you can expect that in the mail probably next week. So you're welcome to send us anything you'd like. Nicole says, hi, Jamie. I met you at Vintage Days. I did. That was so fun here in Southern Utah. Vintage Days is where people sell like vintage goods, and I bought the coolest Christmas presents for my kids. So I'm super excited about that. Jennifer says, hello from Massachusetts. You look beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm actually having a really bad hair day, so I threw my hair up into a headband, and I think I changed my shirt 3 times before I filmed this video because I'm just a little bit tired today. So yes, so if you are watching this on YouTube, you can find our mailing address on YouTube as well. And then Carrie asked, can you tell me how you keep your spinach fresh looking in your freezer for smoothies? So I think Carrie has reached out about this question before, and I hadn't responded. So I typically make green smoothies for both myself and my kids. It's something that we can pack in there with spinach that's high in vitamin C and iron. For me, sometimes I'm low in iron. And with my children's food allergies, sometimes it's hard to get vitamin C into their diets because some of them can't have fresh citrus. They get super, super itchy. Okay, Carolyn Grimes, Zuzu, It's a Wonderful Life. Okay, that is the name of the book. That's the author. Thank you. Thank you for those of you that remember what the name of that book was. Hi. Okay, so how I keep the spinach fresh is, you brought me a soda. Thank you.
Yeah, I joined you, but I gotta pee.
Okay. Okay, Chad just came in and brought me my favorite drink, it looks like, from Swig. I love, let's see, did he bring it? Yeah, a Dirty Dr. Pepper, a Diet Dirty Dr. Pepper. That is my favorite from Swig. So he is going to be joining us. I didn't know if he was going to make it or not because he's got a busy day at the office. Okay, so as far as spinach, I typically buy it in the containers in like a clamshell case. I find that lasts longer in my freezer as opposed to just buying it in just like kind of the Ziploc package. And then I rotate my spinach out about every month so it stays fresh. But that's a way to pack in just healthier stuff for my kids and I. Dory says, hello, Chad. I will tell him that he just ran to use the restroom and then he will be right back. Okay, Susan asks, are you feeling settled into the new house yet? I love the way you decorate. I would say just in the last couple days, this place finally is starting to feel like home and it's starting to feel cozy. I need to share this in my stories with you guys. So I actually found 2 pieces of furniture just yesterday on Facebook Marketplace by the sweetest gal. So she's probably watching this right now because she just started watching our channel. So I found like a desk set that's really vintage looking. It reminds me of something that's like shabby chic, which is super trending right now, especially over on Pottery Barn Kids, that shabby chic, Love Shack fancy style. And then I found like a bookcase for the little girls' room. And so they have been really excited as of yesterday, decorating their room. So I'm, again, really glad that I got that triple bunk bed, because it does free up play space for the kids. So yeah, it does feel like a home. We are getting settled in. The girls, of course, have gone like straight to work with decorating and creating a home. And it really does feel like I could live here for a really, really long time. I love it here. Barbara, hello from the UK. Welcome, Barbara. Okay, the next question is from Jennifer. She said, a few months back, you shared an eyelash serum that you've used. Can you please share? So I was going to share this. I'm actually out of this, but it's called Babe Lash, and it's an eyelash serum that you apply just the tops of your eyelashes, and it'll grow your eyelashes longer. Probably, I would say you'll see results in like the first 3 weeks. So you can apply it at night and in the morning. And I noticed within 3 weeks, longer, thicker, fuller eyelashes. And I've also noticed now that I'm out of this and I've stopped using it, I am starting to lose those eyelashes. So it really is good. Hey, are you going to come sit with me?
I think she's a babe right off the bat, so you don't have to wait 2 or 3 weeks for it to kick in.
Well, that's a sweet thing for you to say. Okay, Chad's going to tune in, so I am going to move this just a little bit. Hi.
Morning.
Good morning. Okay, Ellen is tuning in from the Philippines. I'm going to scoot this closer because it's hard to read these comments as they are coming in, because they start to come in really, really fast.
She does that really because I can't see.
You can't see it? Do you need
No, that's why you said it. I said I had to use the restroom when I first got here, really because I had to freshen up.
Oh, is that?
Because y'all think I look like an old man. So
He's been reading the comments and he tells me what people said. There's been a lot of people saying that's her dad or he looks like her dad. I think you guys have a lot of the same characteristics, and maybe that's one thing that I really love and appreciate about him, like the same qualities and characteristics.
I think if I was a quarter of your dad, I'd be happy. So to say that I look like him, I'm lucky for that, I guess you could say. And I'm not saying that because he probably won't watch either.
Somebody said you're funny and that you're so real. I would say that's true. What you say?
I tried to be. I don't.
Yeah, I'd say with him, what you see is what you get.
I'm pretty goofy and serious at times, but like on the video the other day, we would have been in Casablanca sticking in them nickel slots, but I don't think you can do it anymore.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I haven't gambled.
I've never gambled. Somebody just said you're a gentleman. I would say so. He always opens the door for me. I'm like, I can get my own door. And you're like, yeah, but I'm old school. I like old school.
I try. I mean, sometimes she gets out before I get a opportunity to do it. But yeah, I do read the comments from time to time. Don't ask questions in them because I said from time to time. So I'm not a social media person. So it was okay. Sorry I was late. I was trying to get you a drink and
I'm so grateful. That was a wonderful surprise.
I was teaching at the university today. So does Chad have an older brother? No.
Does Chad
none that are single. So
you have a younger brother that's single.
Yes, this Sam. Yeah, we'll see. But we went and got from Swig. I had to get a Swig. What do you call it? Should I say the name?
What? Yeah, I already said it. It's
the double D's. They call it the double D's.
That's what they call it.
So.
Somebody just asked.
But this is a 20 ounce, so it's not a double D.
Somebody asked, "What do you do for work?"
So sports tourism. So Tourism Bureau, Greater Zion. You can look it up, GreaterZion.com. Follow us on the Instagram. So the sports director for Greater Zion. So basically sports tourism, event marketing, event tourism. So bringing in the people into St. George, into Washington County is what I do. A crude, quick way to say it is heads in beds and butts in seats. So we try to keep the hotels full, the Airbnbs and the restaurants full, and then work with different businesses to try to maximize the visitor in town, the quality visitor. I try to attract golf. The clock threw me off because she had the clock right here, so she's not late picking up the kids.
I keep a clock right behind the camera because I can't tell what time it is with just my phone. And sometimes I gabbed for way too long.
So I work on bringing in the major events like Ironman, PGA, all the different off-roading events, all the major big stuff for USA sports and things like that to try. And then I work with the athletes for the athlete experience, the spectator experience, the media experience. We're close.
Are you the same age?
We both have a 4 in front of our ages.
We do now.
So mine keeps going up every year. Hers stays the same. So we know that much. You can, sorry to interrupt, but I can let you keep.
Jolene says St. George is busy. This town has grown so much since I moved here back in 97. What's your favorite thing about Jamie besides her beauty?
She's patient with me. That's for dang sure.
I'm patient with you.
Yeah.
I always tell him, thank you for being so kind. He's so kind to me. He's so kind and respectful of my children. This is Dixie from Indiana. How did you meet?
Frozen food aisle. She melted the ice cream. She was standing there too long.
That is not how we met.
Through dating apps, just like everybody else does it these days.
We met originally through Facebook. And you reached out, and then I got scared and didn't respond and then deleted the app because I was like, wow, people actually talk to you on these dating apps. What was the best date you've ever been on together?
What would you say?
I would say when my dad invited you up to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, because we were all there and we were just starting to date and get to know each other. My dad was like, I like him. You should invite him. And I was like, I don't know, Dad, I barely know this guy. And he's like, we like him. So you drove all night to come up to Jackson Hole, Wyoming and get to know me better and spend time with my family. That was pretty fun. I would say when we were on Jenny's Lake, you took me on like a date while my parents and the rest of the family watched the little kids. And we paddle boarded out to the lily pads on Jenny's Lake. That was pretty special for me.
We might have got some smooching in too while we were doing it, just saying.
Okay.
I like to embarrass her at the most inappropriate times. But.
I think we kissed like one time and it was like really, really sweet.
And I asked first, and I asked to kiss you first, if I don't remember right.
Yeah, you did ask. You mean like our first kiss, or do you mean like on the lily pads?
That's for lily pad only conversations. So, but so yeah, that was just, it's fun. So, but yeah, I do read, going back to the comments really quick. I do read them and I watch from time to time on the lives. And somebody said, one of the things I like about you, kind of going back in full circle here, I have ADHD some days, but one of the people were saying, why do you let me clean the house and stuff like that? And I find that if I have that time to do that, we can spend more time together. That's one of the things I like about Jamie. She lets me do those kind of things. Not that I have to, not that I'm being forced to, but if we have more time together, once the kids go, she's got more energy. The kids see more energy. We all see more energy when there's teamwork involved. So it's not just woman's job. I'm doing that because it's not a term anymore, so don't hate me on that. But it's not a woman's job. Plus, it leaves more time at the end of the night, if you all know what I mean.
I saw you smiling.
I was going to say the brown chicken, brown cow, that.
Somebody asked, do you live together? No, he comes over after work, spends time with my family, and then he goes home at the end of the night and stays at his place.
Now, if y'all can send comments and convince her, otherwise in the near future, I'm just saying.
We're getting to those questions. People ask that question.
Okay. I ask that question all the time. So it's like that Johnny Cash movie, that Ring of Fire. Y'all watch that, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
I don't think I've seen it.
We'll have to watch it.
Okay. I'm up for that. Okay, next question is, do you find it hard for people to want to rent to large families? I don't think so. Everybody that I've rented, just like your dad said, I like him. There's a lot of ladies that like you. My kids really like him too. It's good you don't for now. Please move in with him is what Stacey says. So I don't plan on moving in with anybody or letting him move in with me until I'm married. So anyway, just saying. Hi from Australia. Welcome. Okay, next question. Okay, we talked about the eyelash serum. I shared that for you gals. Ashley asked, what's the biggest lesson you've learned during or post-divorce? I think the number one thing I learned is that I'm stronger than I think. I think the second thing I'd say is that children are resilient. The third thing, I wrote these all down. Sometimes divorce is better for the whole family. And I think the last thing I would say is that hope is a powerful thing. What would you say you learned from
A lot. You
being
can't even,
divorced?
there ain't enough time in this thing to learn from what I've learned. I do like me better. I've liked me better. Internally, when I say I like me better, it's not that I like this state of life better. I like me better. There's a lot of learning, a lot of lessons, a lot of heartache that you have to go through with divorce. It's not something you get married and you choose to do that. Oh, we'll see how long this lasts for a minute. It's not something you choose to do. And at the end of the day, I'm better for it. I think the people that know me now, Jamie, you like this version of me better. But there's not enough time in the day to write it all down. But anyway.
Yeah, I think it was a good question. And everybody's divorce experience is different. I still think there's a grieving process for me at times, which you and I talk about. And I think it's healthy to talk about those things within your relationship. So yeah, I thought Ashley asked a really good question. The next question is from Tina. What's your procedure for Halloween candy? What they can and what they can't eat? Well, he and I have been eating the Halloween candy when they're not around. We just sneak it.
Y'all didn't see me when I walked in. Part of the other reason I use in the restroom is because I know where the candy's stashed. So I went right in and grabbed a handful of candy. And so I think mostly me, but between the two of us, it'll get 8.
I think the candy just needs to go. I think that's part of the problem is like some of my kids will sneak it and they'll eat almost the whole bucket before school starts. And then they're super crabby and yelling at everyone. And I'm like, I don't think I want that Halloween candy around for much longer. So we've been eating it. Usually I let my kids eat as much as they want like the first day and then I toss it. This year, since the kids are a little bit older, a little bit more mature, I want to say a little bit more mature than last year. I've let them eat just as they've like asked for it. And they've done okay for the most part. We really just had like one tough morning where one of my kids was super spazzy because they got into the Halloween candy before school started and they didn't eat breakfast. But yeah.
What did I have last night? Oh, I opened
We ate
up
Whoppers.
Whoppers, and then I found the Swedish fish, and I had a couple of those, and I think Violet was sitting there, and I wasn't like, it's like kids have this sixth sense or super heightened nose smells, because it was like I had a handful and I ate one, and I was just holding them while we were watching the show. And she kind of perked up and looked. I didn't make any noise.
Was this Lily or Daisy?
No, it was Violet. She was sitting there on the floor. And so she looked over, and I was like, I just kind of stopped chewing even, because I didn't even want her to see that. And then her little head went back down yonder. And so we were just, and I think I snuck one to you, or maybe that was a Whopper. But
you were both great for each other.
So,
nice to see
but
each
yeah, so the candy is trickling down because I about got 8 what I like, and I was kind of searching for Milk Duds last night. I wanted caramel ones.
That's your favorite candy.
And there was no
is
more.
Milk Duds.
There
of
was
all
no
the
more.
candies.
Yeah, Milk Dud. I mean, I go for the pure sugar babies and Milk Duds.
Sugar babies.
Anything
I loved those as a kid.
That's like candy.
You
form
like
of
caramel
energy.
and chocolate.
Yeah, like the sugar, just that sugar rush. It's like an energy drink, but with candy.
It's good. It's good. Okay, our next question has to do with co-parenting. Christine asks, is my kid's dad involved? Yes, he's a very involved dad. So we switch off our parenting time 1 week on, 1 week off, and then we alternate holidays. And then I also had a couple of questions about where is dad. So with our divorce, we have divided our platforms. So I took YouTube, he took YouTube and I took the Facebook. And then he has our original Instagram. I have started up my own YouTube accounts over at 5 to Love or Jamie Scott. And then I started up my own Instagram account, jamie.scott. So hopefully that answers your question. And then I had another question come in. Do you and your ex-husband share the van for when you have the kids, or do you each have your own? So I've actually, over the last 3 years, been asked this question several times. We each have our own vehicle. He chooses to drive a minivan. And then I have the original van that is a 12-passenger Nissan NV, which I really like because then if we want to go do stuff with our families, like your kids are welcome to come along and we can include and fit everybody, even grandparents. So
it has a name. Nice. It's a van.
What?
What do we call it?
What do you call it?
Can we tell it? Can we say that?
I forget what you call it.
The hoopty.
That's what he named my car because it's pretty big and parking that thing is a beast to park. Caitlin asks, what do the kids like most about their parents? I would say, hands down, my kids probably say their dad's really fun. And with me, they would probably say I'm boring. But I'm also like warm and comforting, if that makes sense. Okay, we've got some dating questions. You ready for these dating questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
No, you're good. He's working at the same time. Evelyn asks, are you going to get married soon? I just wanted to see what his face would do when I asked that. I'm not going to be getting married anytime soon that I'm aware of. But I would love to remarry. How's that? How's that for answering the question?
You'd be a good politician. Answer
Would
with
I?
no answer.
Am I good at bridging?
The answer, no answer.
No comment. Okay, the next question is from Dubai Carey. How often does Chad have his kids since he spends most evenings with you?
Well, they live a little bit of a way in another town close by. So during the week, they're in school. My youngest is 14, and then a 17-year-old. So they're in the school. You know, a lot of times, depending on what sports are going on, this time of the year when football's ended, it's a little more. But when basketballs and stuff start hitting, I mean, they're teenagers, so they're getting to be busier during the week and stuff. So it doesn't make as much sense. But whenever we can, we make it work. My oldest is 21. I saw her yesterday. I've been on the phone with her today. So quite regularly because she lives just down the road. So we see her quite a bit. She's helped babysit her from a couple times, and so we see them. But yeah, they're FaceTime or calling quite a bit.
And then your other daughter, you haven't mentioned her in this particular video. She's just had a birthday. She's 17 now.
Yeah.
And she's really involved with extracurricular.
Yeah, she does most of her college stuff now. Mm-hmm. So she wants to be done with college about the same time she does. And I'm not talking associates. Pretty much she spends all of her free time taking college classes where she can. And so she wants to be done pretty much with her bachelor's within a year of being done with high school.
That's incredible.
So she does a lot of school. Plus she plays golf. Mm-hmm. So she's been twice. She's a junior this year, and golf for the ladies hasn't started yet. So 2-time state champion on golf and stuff. And so she's a pretty big golfer. So once that season starts, she's down here golfing quite a bit. So, but yeah, so they're quite, and they're fun. We had them all here a couple weeks ago. They went to Top Golf, and we went to the football game, and so my kids like to go to the Utah Tech University football games, the basketball games. Now the basketball's starting, the sports stuff, and
you and your ex-wife, I just want to mention, like, I really appreciate the example that the two of you are in your co-parenting. You each have 50-50 parent time as well. And you guys actually do a lot of flexibility since the kids are older, asking your kids, what would you like to do? And you guys, for the most part, alternate holidays too.
Yeah. Oh, I was trying to read the thing.
I know they come in so fast.
I
Sometimes I
couldn't
like
tell.
pause
Somebody
to read
said
the comment.
something about you're so serious. Do I have that serious, like that serious resting face? It's kind of like that BRF face, you know. But I think somebody says sometimes I'm serious. I'm not that.
I think you're both. I think you're playful and you're serious, which is fascinating to me about you. Even your profile, your dating profile was kind of like that. I liked it. It was kind of catchy.
And no, on one of the comments, I'm not a PE teacher. It's just not. Somebody says he looks like a serious PE teacher.
Oh.
No, I'm not. If you get to know me, we're pretty playful. I just trying to be serious to read, and it's actually more of a squinting thing. So.
Okay, our next question is from Roslyn. Was it more challenging on the boys or the girls when you started dating again? And Roslyn says he's a winner. So she thinks you're a winner, Chad. She thinks you're a keeper. I've had several comments come in about
Does that mean I get sprinkles on the ice cream? The winner. It's a Geico commercial or a Progressive commercials, and they're sitting in the locker room. The kid just lost the basketball game for his team, and they're going through the little things, and she's trying to give him the pep talk, and she's like, "Come on, champ," or something like that. "Let's go get ice cream." He's like, "With sprinkles?" She goes, "No, sprinkles are for winners." So I get sprinkles because I'm a winner.
My oldest is named Chad. That's what Jill said. She likes the name Chad. She named her child that. I would say more challenging on the boys or girls. When I first started dating, the first time my kids actually met the first person I dated, it had been almost 6 months that I had gotten to know that person. And Violet was really excited. I think she opened the door and was like, "Me likey." So I think my kids in general have really loved getting to know. They've really only met 2 people. I would say with you, each of the kids are so very different. They've had their moments in the beginning. As with anything, transitions and change can just be different for kids. And so letting them express that and validating how they must think and feel about things, I think is good. It's healthy. I think the first time Daisy really expressed anything was up at Jackson Hole, and I asked what she thought of Chad, and she said, "He bothers me." And I said, "Well, what do you mean by that, Daisy?" And do you want to tell the story? You want me to say it? You know what I'm referencing, right?
Yeah, because I always just like
when you would talk to the
I put my
kids.
head. I would put like, okay, because I can hear you, so I'm just touching the back of their head, like
gently.
I'm listening, you know. Or,
and she was like, "He bothers me," and I was like, "How does he bother you?" "He's always touching the top of my head." So once I heard what Daisy had to say about that, because she's my sensitive child, like she doesn't need much to feel deeply. And so once we talked about that with Chad, like she thinks Chad's great.
Now she wants me to carry her everywhere.
Yeah, she thinks you're awesome.
So.
Yeah, so it's good. Vivi really loves having Chad around. Kind of our nighttime routine is I give all my kids a bath, and then I tuck each of my kids in. And Vivi just wants to be held a little bit before she goes to bed. So he'll stand up and just kind of rock her back and forth while I'm in the same room with the other 2 girls. And Violet loves that. And then I'm trying to think, the other kids, they love a lot of things about you. The boys really love like building paper airplanes with you, playing Hot Wheels. Jamie, you and Chad look great together. Thank you. My family thinks he's awesome. I think he's pretty awesome too. So yeah, the little kids love him. I've asked Landon, what does he think about everything? And Landon has said it's cool because he's got a kid his same age, so that he has somebody to hang out with. So that's nice. And I love that Chad notices the needs of all my kids, including Landon, not just the quintuplets. So that's something that I really appreciate about you, about him. Making sure that Landon's needs are met as far as like getting out of the house, having time for himself, doing teenager stuff, not just little kid stuff all the day long. So those are just a few things that I've noticed that my kids have said. And they really like having him around. So it's been good. It's been good to see that. So
I need to learn how to make juicy hot dogs like her dad does, but I make a mean turkey dog.
My kids love hot dogs. That was like their favorite thing, hot dogs and mac and cheese. And so he does help cook. Makes me happy to see you so happy. Thank you. I just am really grateful that he came into my life and grateful that things are going well. And I just want to continue getting to know you in all the seasons.
You got like winter. That's it. Because it was May. So that's technically spring, summer, fall, and now we're in the winter. So we do the math differently, but who's counting?
Okay. So we're going to say winter.
You're going to ask the next questions. That's all. No.
Okay. If you guys have any more questions for me, for Chad, about my family, about raising kids, you're welcome to ask them now. Perfect match from South Florida. Caitlin, thank you. Caitlin, was it your question that I answered, or was it a different Caitlin that asked me a question? I'm not sure. We've got some new viewers tuning in. Welcome. Good evening from Sweden. The two of you look so good together. Thank you. Michelle Lewis says, so awesome. It has been fun getting to know you, getting to know your family, and getting to know your extended family. It's been fun.
It's interesting, and I like this side. No, some of the questions have asked me in the past, like, what's some of the comments that I've told you that I've seen? Like, oh, people want to know if I saw your video. I didn't see the videos beforehand.
You didn't know who I was
didn't watch
before.
any of that.
Yeah.
I just knew that she didn't need the beauty eyelash stuff that she's. I knew she was a babe without the babe stuff, like this.
The eyelash.
Yeah, stuff. I knew she was that before that, so I just went off of that. The dating profile pictures and stuff. But
honestly, I started using the Babe Lash eyelash serum because my eyelashes were starting to rip out because I used to be an Elsa from Frozen impersonator. That was a portion of my infertility money I'd been saving up. The movie Frozen had just come out, and with how often I was wearing the false eyelashes for the birthday parties that I was attending, my eyelashes were just hashed. And so I came across that product, loved it, and then I've just been hooked ever since. So I go through spurts where I use it, and I love it because it just makes for longer, thicker eyelashes. And as I'm getting older, I like having longer eyelashes. I don't know.
And it's not, and that's not paid advertisement. Just
No.
saying. It's
Just saying. Somebody asked, and I thought, well, I'll share that. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go get the kids
I think
here.
I'm gonna have to go back to work because y'all are just watching and not asking questions. So, but I'm just kidding. I'm totally glad you found somebody. But yeah, it's great, and I appreciate the opportunity that I can jump on these. I wish I could do it more. I can't always. Today worked out good when I got done. So I'm kind of like done talking. When you get a bunch of university students asking you questions for 2 hours.
So you taught at the college or the
the
university?
just a guest speaker today on the effects of tourism and large sporting event tourism and marketing and stuff. So I'm kind of like, I'm questioned out. So, and that's not offense to any of you guys. So you can put them in the comments. I usually will breeze through them. So if there's sometimes we see things that need to be addressed, like I have to tell her she needs to put the recipe in for the German pancakes and the eggy bread and all of that stuff, because a lot of you have asked. And so you have to tune in if you guys have, what do you call it? The Instagram. If you guys have Instagram, she puts that stuff on stories and things like that. So I would recommend you follow on both platforms. That's just a plug. So help make that paper by watching them both. So.
Well, I love doing this Facebook Live. You guys know I look forward to Wednesdays every single week. It's so fun to hang out with such amazing people. For the most part, our audience is female, but we do have some people that tune in that are guys.
Listen, there's no gender specific. We don't have to worry about that. It's 5 for love is for everybody, right?
5-2 love?
Yeah, $5. Yes. I said that. She gets mad because every time I'm trying to put something in, not mad, like instead of TWO, I always put TOO or.
Like, that's not how you spell it.
It's the only time I use proper English is when I try to spell that out, and then I get it wrong. So.
No, it's good. You guys, I'm so excited too because Shayden is coming down. Speaking of, well, I better not say, but somebody typed in the word engagement, we'll just say. So I'm excited to see
I'm
Shayden.
sorry, whoever said it, there's no Christmas engagement. So But watch for after the year, but not
Dating in all the seasons. That's what I think is good. Okay.
good.
Well, you got to get back to work, and I got to go get the kids. High
Yeah.
five. I'll see you after work. Okay. Good to see you guys. We will catch you at the next vlog. See ya.